Welcome to the Tonya Hoffman's Fabulous TV Show. I am Tonya Hoffman. I'm your host today on my show. And of course, as always, I have an incredibly fabulous guest. And all the way from over the giant pond is in England is Miss Pat Duckworth. Hey, Pat.
Hi, Tonya. It's so great to be here.
Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna love Pat. You know, one of the things is when I get to go traveling everywhere, I get to meet such amazing people. And Pat is one of those kind of people that you just kind of gravitate to, Not only does she have like the best last name ever, I mean, who doesn't want to have Duckworth, you know? So Uh, so we're going to talk to Pat in just a second. I also want to remind everyone that we would love for you to get involved with the Public Speakers Association and get your message out there and change lives. I mean, that's what it's all about. So go check us out at Public Speakers with an S Association, all spelled out.com, and have fun today. Alrighty, so Pat, so tell us about, what are you up to nowadays?
Well, last year I published my book, Hot Women Rock, How to Discover Your Midlife Entrepreneurial Mojo. And I just love getting out and talking about it because it's all about inspiring women at midlife to live their best lives. And, I think so many women get to that stage in their life when they're not feeling as fabulous as they were. And they know that they want to do something, and they're just not sure what it is. And I just want to bring all of that out for them and help them to rediscover their mojo so that they can be living a really great life.
Yeah, I had this quote that I found yesterday. It says, "We believe our role on this planet is way bigger than ourselves." And I think that's kind of, there's two things I think in our midlife that we start really looking at is how do we play a bigger game and really create some movement in our world, a positive movement, because there's enough negative going on, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think sometimes, so many women I meet, they get to that midlife stage and they might have been involved in giving a lot to other people just within their family, whether it's husband or kids or older parents that they're looking after. And then they kind of get to their 50s and they think, yeah, I'm going to do something for me. But that me isn't just for themselves because they've got that bigger vision. Everything that they've learned from either their earlier work life or from their family, and suddenly they want to do something for the environment or the community or, raising up other women. And, it's those really big visions that are so much fun to play with.
I love that. I know, I'm about to turn 50 like in a couple weeks.
You are just a baby.
I know. That's, it's funny because as you get older, everyone else gets younger, right? You're like, used to, remember when you were in your 20s, you're like, 50. Oh my gosh, those people are ancient. Now I'm like, 50's young.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, 50 is the new 21, I think.
I don't know. Well, I do think that a lot of times we look at not only affecting other people, but when we start really looking at ourselves, right? And what can we do for ourselves? Because I think a lot of it has been focused on other people or, just bringing in income for the family or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I was at a speaking event last night, and I was speaking about my kind of journey through India last year, and other people were talking about their personal journeys, and men and women, most of them were around this kind of 50 to 60 age group, and all of them talking about their inner journey, where they've got to with what they've learned, either in their business career, but even if it's their business career rather than their personal career, they're still learning about themselves. The people who think, I've got to 50, I'm kind of a sage now. And then they realize, oh my God, there's still so much more I need to learn about myself before I can start sharing it with somebody else.
I know, it's crazy to me how, I thought, okay, I've pushed myself pretty hard to get out of all my comfort zones and get through my fears. And you think, okay, I should be done with that now. But there's always something, right?
Oh, I know. It just never stops. And I guess that's why it's fun. If you thought, I've learned everything now, what would you do? Sit and stroke the cat and knit or something. But, I got to 50 and made this massive change in my life from being a civil servant working in big government departments to setting up for myself. And I always feel that it's kind of rewound the clock. I feel like I'm back at being 25, 30 again, because I'm learning this new career. I'm learning this new way of working now. And it's just, there's something new every day, and it's just always fun.
I know, it's so crazy to me. Even the other day, I was doing this video. Now, I've done a gazillion videos, obviously, and so it's no problem. But I found it was one of the most challenging things I've done in a long time, because I had to do it with no makeup on, because I was representing the Rev line and showing people how to put it on. And I just couldn't stop laughing at myself, how ridiculous I was. And I couldn't do this video because I was looking at myself with no makeup on. I mean, how ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I hardly used to wear any makeup. It would just be a little bit of lippy, just to show I've made a bit of an effort. And now, because I'm doing video and, people are looking at your face, you've got to think, oh, well, I better put a bit of primer and foundation. Who'd heard about primer? And now it's like primer, foundation, blusher, bit of this, bit of that. I never had such a bag of makeup.
I know, we start looking at ourselves and we're so judgmental, and, a lot of times we don't even realize it until we're put into that moment. And you're like, wow, I had no idea I was going to freak out like this,
Somebody goes to take a photograph of you and you think, oh, I better take my glasses off, straighten my hair. You just freak out.
I know, it's crazy. So when you're talking to all these incredible people and, especially when you're putting together your book, was there like one thing that you kept hearing from people, like maybe what their challenges was and what they, found out from those challenges?
There was always some kind of a tipping point. People don't just change because they're having a fabulous life and they think, oh, I think I'll do something else. Most people, there's some pain point in it all that makes them go, oh, I really can't bear this any longer. I've got to do something. So, it might be a relationship breakdown, or it might be just something at work. I mean, for me, it was just like the boss from hell. But it might be, the kids have left home and suddenly you're thinking, who am I? What do I want to do? So there's some kind of point there that's so uncomfortable that you want to do something about it. And that's when you're going to kind of motivate yourself to get up and really start thinking about what it is that you really enjoy and what you really want to do. Because, I had this boss who really didn't get me. He was almost like a polar opposite of me. And so I sort of asked him for feedback one day when I'd been working for him for about 3 months. And he went, feedback? Really? What for? I thought, there's a bit of a disconnect here. And then he said to me, hey, you're obviously good with people, but so what? And when something kind of hits at one of your values, when you really value the way that you get on with people and helping people and sharing what you learn and all things that are really top values for you, you might not even know they were top values until somebody cuts right across them, and then you realize how important they are to you. And when he said that, I thought, I can't work for this person any longer.
Yeah.
So anytime you get angry with someone or you kind of stop in your tracks, even if you don't know what your values are, somebody has just trampled all over them.
I know. I remember in 2007, I made my first rule in my business, and it kind of went through into my life. It was, you have to be nice. If you're going to be around me, just be nice. And, it was like that moment of, I can't handle this negativity and this whining. I'm like, oh, no more whiny babies. You're adults now.
Yeah, you have to make those kinds of decisions. And I was talking to another group of women and they were saying, oh, I've got this person who's a bit difficult, that person's a bit difficult. I said, well, just stop dealing with them. Oh, it's not that easy. I said, honestly, it is. Once you realize that these people aren't supporting you, What are they doing in your life? And, you know, that really important saying, who you spend time with is who you become. And if you spend time with people who are whining and being negative and it's all too much, you know,
Yeah.
you're going to become those people. You've got to get away from them and you've got to do something new. So who you network with, who you spend time with, who you mastermind with, this is all crucial to whether you'll actually succeed and whether you'll be happy.
Yeah, I know. I had to let she was my best friend go, because I was like, I just realized one day, it was always about her. It was never going to be, when I needed her support, she was never there. And it was just always very difficult and very negative, even though she was fun. And that was always the kind of, and finally I just like, okay, I've got to let her go. And then I guess it was, probably uh, 7 years later or so, she came to a group and that I was speaking in front of. Now she had still was exactly the same spot in her life, the same relationships she had with her husband and her children. Everything was exactly the same. And she saw me and she goes, "What happened to you?" She's like, "I can't believe it. You're up there. You're talking in front of people." Because I used to be such an introvert. I always love showing people my introvert picture because this was me.
Wow.
This was me in 2005, ladies. This was me at a holiday gala. This is what I wore to a gala. So this was me saying, "Don't look at me." So that's what she remembers. And she's like, "What happened? You're funny and you're talking in front of people." I'm like, I kept moving.
Yeah. Yeah, you find that thing that you love doing, and then it becomes easy to do some of this stuff. The very first training course that I ever ran, and I put the material together and I arranged the speakers and got all these people there. You're not going to believe what the subject was. It was the valuation of sewage treatment works for rating purposes.
Wow.
I had to speak about sewage for 3 days. And in fact, after that course, my nickname was Lady Muck. Now, I might not have enjoyed sewage, but I knew that I loved standing up and talking and training people and answering questions. And, you just think, I want to do more of this. This is where I feel really alive and enjoying it. And people come up afterwards and they go, "Wow, you made that so much fun." And it was about sewage. And in the end, I had trouble filling that first course. Because people were like, "Really? 3 days on sewage?" But afterwards, we just had so many people wanted to come on it because they heard it was fun and you learnt a lot and you got to visit a sewage works. I am glad to be away from it.
I'll never think of you the same again. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. It totally changes what Duckworth means.
I
know. Oh my gosh. So, when you start looking at, you got your book and it really probably walks people through the transformation, right, of different types of people, because it's a compilation, right? It's got lots of different stories in it.
Yeah, well, it's 50-50 because when I started writing it, it was because I was going to go and speak in Delhi and I was going to talk about entrepreneurship. And I thought, well, the model that I've used, I just think is so great and so powerful. So I started writing chapters about this model. And then I was talking to other women who were also midlife entrepreneurs and they were going, "Oh, yeah, this happened to me." And they started telling me their stories. And I thought, well, this makes it a great book because then I can share, this isn't just my take on this. These other women have done this as well. So I ended up with 21 women's stories in it. They're all different. They're all coming from different backgrounds. They all had different challenges. It runs from kind of being a really successful entrepreneur and then having a bit of a breakdown and having to start again, to somebody who suddenly discovered rowing in midlife, and once she was rowing, kind of took that into her coaching business. So it's kind of all these different perspectives that say, okay, so here's the model, this is how you can do it, but look, this is what these women have done. So no excuses. If they can do it, you can do it.
Love it. I love it. Well, I think that's really where we got to look at in the rest of our life is, when do you decide to change? When are you going to make a decision to have tomorrow not look like yesterday? I always have the same goal every year, and everyone's like, that must be a sucky goal if it never changes. But that's to look back at myself the year before and not recognize myself, which means I've got to get myself moving. I've got to do things that are scary and that's pushing my limits, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I was working in the civil service, every year looked pretty much like every other year. I mean, I was progressing, but I was still in the same kind of mold. Now, at the end of every year, I'm amazed what happened the year before. I think, wow, where did all of that come from? And, I think particularly when you get to midlife, you think, well, I don't know how long I've got. I'm not getting slower, I'm getting faster.
Yeah.
I can't afford to slow down because there's so much I want to get done and so many things that I want to experience, so many people I want to meet, that I can't leave that till next month, the month after, next year. I've got to do it now. So I'm always looking for, okay, what can I do now? What can I say yes to that's just going to keep this all moving forward? And I know what you're like. I mean, you're up for everything.
Well, maybe not everything. My answer is usually yes. I have to catch myself though, because sometimes, women, especially, I think, say yes to too much, and then you're like, I gotta, and then you're like overwhelmed, So it's also about taking care of yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not saying yes to everything that everybody else wants you to do. It's yes to the things that are fun and are going to just keep you moving forward to do the thing that's, towards your purpose, whatever you feel that you really want to do. And I've got this really strong purpose of inspiring other women to lead their best lives. So I'm always thinking, well, if I do that, is that inspirational? If you want to be inspirational, you've got to lead an inspirational life. And that's why I fly to places where you are, and, I fly to go and speak, because I think, well, that shows other women you can do it. If you want to do it, just get up and do it.
Exactly. So tell us, do you have something you would like to give our incredible listeners today?
Well, obviously, the book Hot Women Rock is there for you, and it's available on Amazon. And what I offer to new clients is that they can have a free 30-minute Skype conversation with me and just talk about where they are in their life and how they want to move forward. And, if I can inspire some of your viewers, I'm very happy to do that. So, contact me and I will, we'll arrange a 30-minute Skype and see where we go from there.
Perfect. And how do they get a hold of you?
So they can email me, pat@patduckworth.com. So it's pretty easy to remember. Now you've heard my name a few times, you're not going to forget Duckworth. Contact me, pat@patduckworth.com. Say that you learnt about me on Tonya's fabulous program, and we'll sort something out.
Perfect. All right. So get in touch with Pat now and get to know her. She's just so brilliant. It's always good to connect with someone new, but also for them to give you insights into you. And I know that's helped me so much. So remember, pat@patduckworth.com. We'll put an American slang in there, right? We got our, pronunciation here, or patduckworth.com. So I love it. All righty, Pat. So thank you, everybody. We will be back with another fabulous guest on the Tonya Hofmann's Fabulous TV Show. Thanks for being on today. Thanks, Pat. Bye, everybody.